I hope you're enjoying your summer. This is my summer puzzle that I just finished, 1,000 pieces. Just wanted to say hello to you.
Hello knitters, come on in. My name is Elizabeth. This is the Cozy Sky Knits podcast. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about all things knitting related. I also touch on some fiber adjacent crafts from every now and then as they come up in my creative journey. I live in Georgetown, Texas. My mother Nancy lives with me along with my senior cockapoo Sullivan. And today I have for you, I don't have any finished objects. Life has been a little bit busy, but I do have two projects on my needles that you've seen before, but I'm going to go into them a little bit more. I have made some progress on them, so I'll talk about that. And I will also talk about some mistakes I've made and get your input on that, or ask for your input on that. So if that sounds of interest to you, grab a beverage, grab a project, and let's get ready to cozy up and talk about some stuff. So I'm not wearing any knitting today because it's quite hot here in South Central Texas. We've had triple digits for I don't know how many days in a row now, but it's been pretty brutal. And so I couldn't muster up any knitting today, but I am wearing a knitting related t-shirt that I got from Yarn Merch. So this is my walk and knit shirt, which I think is super cute. This gal here on a evening walk with the moon and stars and walking her sheep while she's knitting. I thought that was super cute. So this is in lieu of any knitted objects today. I've been working quite a bit on my socks that I showed in my last episode, which are the Fairy Maiden socks by This Handmade Life, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry. Only comes in one size. It's 64 stitches. However, it'd be really easy to modify. Just add the 8-stitch repeat to increase for a larger size or decrease for a smaller size. I am knitting them with Regia Premium Silk in the color 31 or Rose, and it's 437 yards per 100 grams, and it's a merino superwash merino wool with silk and nylon. And here's the yarn in the cake. And I have finished the first sock. And I'm pretty pleased with it. It's a knit cuff down with a half twisted rib cuff. And then you knit the leg, and then it has a heel flap and gusset. I did a slip stitch heel, and then I just did a basic toe with the standard decreases. And like I said, it's a 8-row repeat cable pattern that looks kind of lacy. I think it's super pretty. I'm really happy with this yarn. I like the slight variegation or tonality of it, almost a little bit of striping, but I just think it's super pretty, and I don't think it's distracting from the pattern itself. So very pleased with that. I have been forcing myself to, so I'm knitting these. Let me go step back for a second. I'm knitting these on my shorties, my signature US 1 9-inch circulars. And I am forcing myself to do the cables without a cable needle, which is new to me because I normally always use a cable needle, but these are just 1x1 cables, and it's pretty fiddly if you have to use a cable needle for that. So utilizing these little needles, it's made it easier for me to do the 1x1 cable without the cable needle. So that's what I'm doing. I've finished the first one and just started the second one. So I'm about halfway through on the cuff, and they were going a little bit slow for me for a sock at first, but then I kind of got the hang of it, and I don't know, I just got in the groove. And then once I got through the leg, the rest of the sock just flew off the needles. So pretty happy with that, and I look forward to having them as a finished object, maybe for next episode. We'll see. The other item on my needles that I've been working on is my second Santa's Cat number 9 from Pia Trans of Traveling Mist Knits, and it is a beautiful top-down circular yoke colorwork, stranded colorwork sweater, and it is done on a gauge of 23 stitches and 30 rows per 4 inches. And in order to get that gauge, I had to modify, and I think I went down in needle size. I had to go down to a US 4 or 3.5 millimeters for the main body, and a US 2 or 2.75 millimeters for the ribbing. And I'm knitting this on my Chiagu circulars, these cute little Highland Cow stitch stoppers. And here's where I'm at. I don't know if I mentioned the yarn I'm using is Barocco Remix Light, which is 100% recycled fibers, which is kind of neat. 30% nylon, 27% cotton, 24% acrylic, 10% silk, and 9% linen. It's a machine washable in cold water yarn, and it's super nice. I love the textured feel of it. I knit my first Cat number 9 in a gray with white, and then I got this color green, which is called New Leaf, and I had leftover white from the other one, so I'm using the same white. So this one I'm knitting for my mother Nancy, and just knitting the same size, which I think is a size 2 is what I'm knitting. I did not do there's a beautiful cross stitch that goes on this, and I mentioned this last time, so if I'm repeating myself and you're a returning viewer, I apologize, but I chose to go ahead and just do a knit round instead of that cross stitch that I did in the last one. Here's my mistake. I don't know what I did, but somehow I must have missed 2 rounds here before I started the color work, because as you can tell, there's more space here between the knit round than there is here. My mom said she doesn't mind it at all. It's bugging the heck out of me. I am trying to learn to live with imperfections and mistakes, but it's just really bugging me. So I thought what I might do is cut into this and add a couple rounds of green. So do a little sweater surgery. Then I thought, oh no, maybe it would be easier to cut and remove a couple rounds of green here. I wasn't sure. And then this morning, while I was eating breakfast, I started thinking about it, and I was trying to talk myself into just leaving it because it doesn't bother her. But then I started thinking maybe what I could do is duplicate stitch another row of the white here, and then another row of the white up above here. So I would have 2 lines of white. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that would be better? What would you do if this was you? Would you leave it and live with it? Or would you try to do sweater surgery or duplicate stitch? I'm not a fan of actually doing duplicate stitch, but I don't think it would be that hard just to do, you know, a complete line around. I think that would be pretty simple actually. So I don't know. I'm maybe leaning that way right now, but I really should just learn to live with it because I have a hard time with perfectionism. So I really should just learn to live with it. And my mom said it really doesn't bother her. She said when it's on, you don't even notice it. So I don't know. I'll go ahead and finish it, but I am making good progress on it. Just have a couple more inches on the body. Then I have to do the ribbing. And then the sleeves go really quick because it's a short sleeve sweater. So I think I'll do a couple rounds just of the green, and then I think it has a 2-color corrugated ribbing, so for the sleeves. So not too much more to go on it, but let me know in the comments what you would do. Would you live with it, the mistake, embrace the mistake, embrace imperfection, or would it drive you crazy and you'd have to find a solution? And if you did have to find a solution, what would you do? And maybe there's something I'm not thinking of that I could do. So let me know. Open to every suggestion you might have, friends. Get me out of this trap of misery of mistakes. I forgot to mention that I did also make a mistake on my sock, and now I can't even find it. Oh no, I found it. Okay, so right here, I don't know if you can see that, but I actually did one of the cables in the wrong direction. I'm going to live with that one. So I think that's pretty good. I'm actually going to live with that mistake, because when it's, I mean, I have trouble just seeing it from a distance, and when it's on my foot, I know I'm not going to see it, and I did not want to have to rip back all that lace, so, or cable work. So yeah, I'm just going to leave that one. So I guess this episode is really just mistakes. I think maybe I have too much on my mind. I don't know. I'm making a lot of mistakes lately, but we'll see. So those are the only two whips that I've been really actively working on. I did not even pick up my lemonade and brioche scarf that I showed last time. I thought I'd get through that really quickly, and I just didn't even pick it up. Just really busy with work, and then my other life update, which I will share in a few minutes here. But before I do that, I wanted to share just another thing that I acquired. It's not fiber, but it is fiber related. So I know I ordered the Strucket, which is that bucket thing for soaking your knits and washing your knits. But I also found this, and I'm still waiting for that to arrive, by the way, so I can't show it. But I also happened to be on Amazon ordering some stuff, and I saw this. And it's a kitchen item, actually. And so this is very much like the Strucket, in that this basket sits inside, and there's a little bit of a gap at the bottom, but you can fill the water, and then you can pull this out to drain your knitted item and just save the water. And depending on whether or not you can reuse that water, which would be really nice since water is such a premium here in Texas, that'd be great. But also it would help to drain the water out of the item that you're soaking. So I thought this was pretty nice. I think it was pretty inexpensive. I want to say maybe like, I don't know, $10 or $15. It wasn't that much. And the only thing I think it doesn't do is it doesn't sit when you pull it up. Like, you can't rest it there to let it drain. So you do have to maybe set something here, or just kind of hold it up and let your garment drain. But anyway, just thought I'd point that out. It's a kitchen item. I think it was called a double straining colander. I'll try to find a link for it and put that in the description down below. But anyway, just wanted to share that little thing. Other than that, I didn't buy anything else, yarn, anything this time. I think my last episode kind of did me in, so. And thank you for all the positive comments. People didn't mind seeing my acquisition, so that was good to know. Made me feel a little bit better, a little less guilty. And also thank you for the suggestions on colorwork sweaters. I'm still considering what to do. I haven't made any decisions yet, but thank you very much for all the input. I appreciate it. So did anyone go to Flock this year? I really want to go to that festival, but I just have not been able to swing it with my work schedule. But I'm hoping next year I'll be retired and I will be able to make it next year for sure. So that's my intention right now. And then DFW Fiber Festival is coming up in Dallas, I think next week or the week after. And I was supposed to go with my friends, Melissa, Jennifer, and Margie. But because of my new life update, I'm not able to, because I'm doing too much traveling, and my update is keeping me at home. So anyhow, so I'm going to miss that. If any of you are going to be there, I'm sorry I won't be able to say hello, but I hope that everyone enjoys it, and I hope everyone has a really good show. And let's see, what else I wanted to chat about a little bit about. I've been looking at quite a few patterns on Ravelry. And there's several new ones that I really like. One is the Clover sweater by Lynette. I'll show that. I think it's a beautiful sweater, and it is done in, let's see, hold on, let me get this here. So it was just released in August, so this month, and it's done at an Aran weight, and a gauge of 16 stitches and 24 rows per 4 inches. So they knit this in lace plus lace, so 2 strands of lace, maybe 2 strands of mohair, it sounds like, and then a light fingering to get to that gauge, done on a US 9 or 5.5 millimeter and a US 8 or 5.0 millimeter. Comes in a whole range of sizes from extra, extra small to 5XL. So looks like it's pretty size inclusive, which is good. I think it's beautiful, but it has that kind of that pointel lace detail and a little bit of cabling, maybe faux cabling, I'm not sure. And then it has this really beautiful, if you can see that scalloped edging on the bottom and on the sleeves. I think that's super pretty and very feminine. And I'm really interested in, I know I have some yarn in my stash that I could put together for this. So I think it's really beautiful, and I'll probably get that on my list for winter this year. So that has been sparking my interest. And I think it's, I don't know if I said this, it's by Lynette or what's her name? Lena Holm Samso from Lynette. So that is one that I've been eyeing up. Something else I got a real kick out of is in the what's hot now is, and I can't quite figure out this, but I guess from what I've been reading that it's gotten some traction on TikTok, and I'm not on TikTok. I should probably eventually get on TikTok, but I'm just not. I don't have time right now. So I don't want to be on my phone and social media all the time. I'd rather be knitting during that time or sewing or whatever. So, I apologize if you hear some background noise. I'll explain it in a minute. But anyway, this is called The Garment, and I'm just like, what? What is it? To me, it looks like a giant poncho with a turtleneck, or a blanket with a turtleneck. I just, wow. I guess it came out in March, and it's made with super bulky yarn. So 10 stitches, 14 rows per 4 inches is the gauge on it, on a US 13. It's a lot of knitting, and it has this fringe on the bottom. But I just, for the life of me, like, is there a purpose for it? I don't know. It's very intriguing. And it's also very intriguing to me that it is in the top 20 patterns for Ravelry, but I guess it must just be not necessarily people knitting it, but people looking at the pattern, and maybe it's just because all the buzz is getting on TikTok. But I don't know if it's related to like a movie or a cult thing or, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to know if you know anything about it. Let me know, because I think it's really kind of bizarre. But something else that I do really like is the Luce sweater by Rebecca Clow. And it is a pointel design, and it's beautiful. It's done in a DK weight, 21 stitches and 28 rows per 4 inches. And let's see, it's done on a US 6 or 4.0 millimeter needle. The thing I like about this, true to most of Rebecca's patterns, which I think are just amazing, is that she gives you variations. So it comes with, the single pattern comes in a V-neck or crew neck, and then it comes with a modification that you can add sleeves. So this could be a vest, or it could be a cardigan, which I think is great. So you could literally have a crew neck vest, a V-neck vest, a crew neck sweater, or cardigan, and a V-neck cardigan. So you could do 4 different things from the one pattern. So I think that's just really, really great. And she's got a lot of good samples that were knit up, and looks like there's several projects on Ravelry that gives you a good idea of how it looks. There's one that's really cute. Let's see if I can show you this one. I think this is super cute. She actually used different colored buttons and then embroidered some little flowers, which I think is super cute. That one caught my eye. So that, I really am eyeing up that one. Another one that I saw in the patterns is the Kindling blanket by Georgie Nicolson. And that is a free pattern, came out this month, and it's based off of a log cabin, like a quilt block log cabin. And I just think that would be a great stash buster. It's 22 stitches and 44 rows per 4 inches, but really you could probably use any weight of yarn if you were consistent and just adjust your number of stitches based on what gauge you were getting. I think it would be a great stash buster, and just really a kind of a cool piece to throw over a chair or on your bed. or sofa, you know, anything like that. I think it's really interesting and colorful, and a good way to maybe experiment with color too. So I liked that. What else? One other one that I really caught my eye. Oh, the ripple loop sweater. So I know there were a lot of those loop sweaters by Other Loops and some beautiful designs, but I have not knit any of them. I do know that I was watching, is it Rachel? Yeah, or Renee, I get them mixed up. One of the sisters from the Table 10 podcast was making the, one of the, I think it was the flow loop, and her she was on gauge, but her sweater came out huge. And so she thinks that there's a mistake in the pattern. So it's like, oh gosh. And she actually knit quite a bit, like almost a whole sleeve and almost the whole body. So kind of crazy that she's gonna have to rip all that out. But anyway, this is the ripple loop sweater, and it is kind of it's got some drop stitches in there. I think it's really cute. I think it'd be really cute for Texas too. It is done with 2 strands of lace, so looks like 2 strands of mohair, but I think you could do really any 2 strands of, maybe 1 strand of mohair and 1 strand of another lace weight to give it a little more body. I don't know. I have to go through my lace. I have a whole stash of lace weight yarns, in addition to just mohair, just regular lace weight yarns that I've picked up that I like to combine with things. So I think I'm going to take a look. I think it's really just a cute, very stylish sweater, kind of be easy to style with jeans or cute pants or something. Even a skirt would be cute with boots. I think it'd be super cute. So yeah, the ripple loop sweater by Other Loops. That's really caught my eye too. So let me know if there are other patterns that you guys are looking at that I might have missed that I should be looking at. I'm open for suggestions on, you know, things to get inspired for fall. But those are just 5 of the things that I have been looking at this week. So I mentioned I have one other life update, and here it is. This is Elliot. He is my new puppy. So he's a sweetheart. I got him just a little over a week ago, and he's a miniature golden doodle, although there's nothing gold on him. He's very chocolate and white, and he came from the, oh, excuse me. Yes, thank you. He came from a breeder where I had my other cockapoo who I had to help cross the Rainbow Bridge back in the end of February, beginning of March, Griffin. So he's from the same breeder. I wasn't going to get another puppy, but Sullivan is really starting to decline, and the thought of not having a dog is really weighing on my heart. And I just thought, if something comes up, I'll know. And one day I was online and saw this puppy come up, and his name was Nugget from the breeder, but he was 7 months old. And I was like, wow, why hasn't anybody taken him? So I reached out to the breeder and talked to her about him, and she just said that he just was overlooked for some reason. He was the smallest one in the litter initially, but he's perfect for me. I love him. His name's, we renamed him Elliot. He is a bundle of joy. He's very eager to please. He's super smart. So he's 75% poodle and 25% golden retriever. And he's very inquisitive of everything. And he's been really good for Sullivan. Sullivan's kind of showing him how to be chill, and he's just learning to be a good dog because Sullivan is such a great dog. So yeah, so this is Elliot, and he is currently 19 pounds. He's about 80% grown. So he'll be probably, I don't know, maybe 22, 23 pounds, somewhere in there. So a mid-sized dog. He's very lanky. And he's a lot of puppy joy. And he has been just a really good addition to our household. He's brought a lot of positivity to us. So we're very happy to have him. And he's been so good. He was kennel trained. So I put him in his kennel at night. His kennel's right by my bed. He goes in without a peep. Not one single sound. He barely barks. Even at other dogs or any other noises outside, he barely barks. And he's just super curious about everything. And he's been fun I'm leash training him because he, 7 months at a breeder, he didn't really get walked. He just played in the yard all the time. So the leash was a little bit of a adjustment for him, but he's doing pretty good on it. So he doesn't pull or anything. He was afraid at first, but just a couple days and he got going on that. So, yep. So everyone, this is Elliot. You'll be seeing a lot more of this guy. So Elliot is the reason that I have not had so much knitting time in the last couple weeks, that and work. But anyway, I hope that you are enjoying your making in these last final days of summer. I hope that everyone is getting ready for fall. I know I've been feeling the urge to put out fall decorations and just, my whole brain and everything is just heading that way, like cooler weather, fall vibes, pumpkin spice, apple cider, the whole thing. I'm just so looking forward to it. So, but thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really do appreciate every single one of you. It warms my heart to know that people come back, and when people leave comments, it just makes my day when I read comments from people. So I truly appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, I would appreciate if you would maybe consider, and also maybe give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what y'all are working on and maybe what you're looking forward to with fall coming. So until the next time, take care, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.